Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 41 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Almohads. And I'm just finished pulling out of what was previously the Danish territory, and I'm letting it just kind of all go rebel and go back to the Danes. I was intending to just get rid of the Danes, but they apparently had another family member who's just kind of hanging out here, and he is here in Saxony now. And I don't really want to go to war with the rest of Europe to get to him. That seems like a lot of work, and I think that would overstretch my lines, honestly, so I'm not going to repeat the same mistakes that the historical Almohads and the Almoravids did. I'm going to try to stay in my domain, whereas they probably should have just kind of stayed in Morocco and not conquered Spain. I'm going to hang on to Spain, of course, because that's where all the action is. So, but yeah, I'm not going to overstretch myself here. Although I am sending some assassins to try to kill him. Well, at the same time, I think it's probably worthwhile. I do have an emissary right here. Why don't I try to get a ceasefire with him as well? And this is where it can be a little bit complicated because... and this is something that I've struggled with, which is knowing exactly what order that things are calculated during the end turn. For example, in this case, in this game, there's a lot of things that happen during the end turn, right? Armies are moved, battles are fought, assassination attempts go through, diplomatic attempts go through, and naval battles, of course, factor in as well. And I'm still trying to get the hang of what order these things are factored in, because this does matter. I'm pretty sure it does, at least, because, for example, when I'm trying to get a ceasefire, it's, you could think it's a bad idea to be attacking any boats of that faction that you're trying to get a ceasefire with in that turn, because I think the diplomatic actions go in first so that you could get that ceasefire, and then if you put in any naval actions during that turn, then they will go through after that diplomatic action is put through, and then you'll just go back to war with that faction that you've been trying to, get that ceasefire with this whole time. So, and I'm kind of at the end of this turn where I've already kind of put in a lot of my attack orders in with my fleets, and I'm going to leave it that way. And here's the thing. I don't know what this dude is going to say. I don't, the Danes he might reject me, right? And gosh, maybe I should, maybe I should cancel these orders, honestly, because I don't want to have to deal with this. The issue that I'm having is that his fleets, they're huge and they are pretty low tier boats, but because they are low tier, they're pretty fast. The low tier boats are typically pretty fast. And what's happening is that even if I try to flee the sea regions, for example, if he comes over to the Straits of Gibraltar during this end turn, he cannot attack during this end turn. But if I try to go, whoops, just move my guys during the next turn and just get out of there, well, it's going to be matching up the speed of his fleets versus the speed of mine. And I'm guessing that it is dictated based on the speed of the slowest ship, is what I would guess. So we have speed of 4 for my admiral, which is the Bagla. Okay, interesting. And then speed of speed of 2 for the Bagla. I was looking at the command stars. And then speed of 2 for the boom. Okay, so it's the same speed. Interesting. But yeah, in any case, so you'd say my speed is 2. His speed, I think, is 3 for his longboats, I believe. But if I tried to move to another sea region during the next turn, if you were to move into the Straits of Gibraltar, then that would count as him catching me because I'm slower boats, and that engagement would be fought. Even though I have a couple of big kahunas here, these 2 booms, I would still probably most likely lose this. In fact, I did fight an engagement in the last episode where I lost 8 boats, and then he also lost 8 boats. And considering that my boats are better, that's a big loss. So, yeah, there's some things to consider here. I'm not sure. I need to get my trade back in order. Because I'm losing 11,000 per turn. And to do that, I should get rid of this Danish fleet. But if I can get a ceasefire, then it doesn't really matter. Right? Or do I just start getting all of my boats in the Mediterranean, like all of them together here? Okay, maybe not all of them. How many is this going to be? Gosh, that's like a lot. That's going to be a lot of boats. How many would I have to get together, like in this immediate region? So it'd be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 boats that I could bring to bear. Yeah, he can't go over there. These guys can, so that would be another, that'd be 17 boats. I could bring 17 boats in against whatever that is. You know, which is probably like 17 or 18 would be my guess. Yeah, it's hard to know. It's hard to know because for the reasons what I was just saying, you know, if I can get that ceasefire, that'd be preferable. But if that ceasefire is going to be canceled by these naval actions, then, you know, not so much. But I suppose what I could at least do is get all of my boats together just for protection. Can they all go to the Western Mediterranean? That'd be nice. Can you go there too? Yes, you can. Nice. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Although the Straits of Gibraltar is also a very vital region because it connects the entire, you know, the Atlantic area to the Mediterranean. So that's kind of a, that's also another big one. Maybe I should go here instead. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it matters. Hopefully they accept the ceasefire and then none of this matters. So let's just kind of like cancel all of these. Yeah, it looks like that canceled that. Yeah, this is canceling these. Let's cancel all of these fights. And let's hope that the Danish boats don't attack me. They shouldn't because I have an advantage at every single engagement. Let's put you here. And there's no other engagements. No, there's not. Okay, so yeah, that's what I need to get under control is the trade issue. Because yeah, I'm just gonna leave them be, you know, other than my assassins. You know, if I can get that kill, that'd be nice. But based on points, I don't think they're gonna be catching up to me. I mean, I'm gonna be doing pretty okay during this next counting period, which is gonna take place in 9 years. They're still making a fair bit, aren't they? You know, they're making 1 point off of each province conquered, which is, you know, that's really good. And their homelands is just Denmark, but they're making 5 points off Denmark, which is also good. So I guess the only thing that I really stopped them from, you know, making points off of is the Kalmar Union, which was trade-based. You know, that was their fleets. So by messing up their fleets, I've really kind of sunk them on this. So I don't think they'd be catching up to me. It's 8, 10, 12, 13. And then, yeah, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, so not by much, not by much. But, you know, I still have a lead on them by quite a bit. So I think I just leave them be, I suppose. Maybe one of my assassins can get a kill. And I feel like their power is fairly well diminished. You know, Egypt has already taken back Egypt. And then, what else do they have? Looks like they're under siege. Are they under siege? No. Do they have a province up here? The map up here. Oh, they look okay. Yeah, looks like they have forces here in Swabia. Oh, yeah, these are loyalists. Okay, yeah, they do have loyalists that will be taking back a few of these regions here. And are they at war with anyone else? They are at war with the Poles. Okay, yeah, interesting. Because that is going to be my next target. Is the Poles. Yeah, what are they fighting over? Brandenburg, maybe? Huh. It'd be nice to see the English kind of kick the Danes out of the UK. But I guess the Sicilians have a huge army here. So I'd be curious to see if they did anything. Are the Sicilians doing anything? They are at war with the Germans, okay. And they have these provinces. Well, in any case, I think for now I will just be focusing on, getting my armies ready to go. Obviously my strength is, pretty gosh darn good. But I do want to like resolve things with the Danes before I actually go and attack Poland, because that'd be getting a little bit too wild, is doing all of these things at once, especially when I'm losing 11,000 per turn. That's not acceptable. I've really, bitten into my treasury by quite a bit. I am down to 120,000, which, feels fine, right? But like, losing 11,000 per turn, that's going to go away. So I'm going to slow down my production and building of things, because I do have like plenty. It's just going to be a matter of retraining certain units and getting my fleets in place so that I can get that naval invasion going on, what would it be? Moldavia, Kiev. They have no boats down here, so this would be an easy little naval invasion. And then on this side it would be Pomerania, and I suppose that's it. Yeah, because the Mongols took Prussia, although they're kind of fighting some rebels for that. And then, yeah, the Danes have Saxony and Brandenburg, so it'd just be a Pomeranian invasion on this side. If I fight through their boats. The Poles do have some boats up here in the Baltic and the Skagerrak, and is that it? I think it is, yeah. Yeah, the Poles are not strong. They're not strong. They're just making like a pretty decent amount of points, that's all. And they already have a decent amount of points, so they kind of need to be dealt with just for that reason. But their primary forces are going to be here in Kiev, and they're not strong either. So just dealing with them is going to be the issue. In fact, I mean, the Egyptians could do me a favor and kind of mess up the Poles for me, but in any case, yeah, as I was saying, I think things are looking okay. My king is young, quite young. He's 25, and he does have a brother who is of age. Prince Yusuf, 18. And he's just loyal enough, 4 points of loyalty it's okay. It says that his faith in my leadership is wavering, but I feel like 4 is okay. He's a natural leader, which is nice, but poor guy, chinless wonder. Perhaps 1 or 2 of this man's close ancestors were a little too close, resulting in an unconventional family tree. -1 acumen, -1 command. Well, despite that, 3 acumen and 2 acumen and 3 command still decent, so. All I need him to be is alive, and I can't remember. I wonder if either of these guys are my king's sons. I don't think Prince Idris is, because 7 would be a little bit too old, but maybe Prince Ibrahim would be my king's son. He is married, so that's good, and he is 25, so if not, he has plenty of time to make some sons. And, he's pretty average, 3 command, 3 acumen. It's doing okay. Great warrior, but he's also a Sybarite, so despite the fact, like, he's really not fit, but he's in great health. So, he's a proper Kung Fu Panda, right? He's somehow going to get things done, but he's going to surprise people. That's how it's going to be. Holy smokes, okay. That was easy. And I think that's it. I think the Danes are done. My assassin was able to kill the Danish king, and I don't know though. I've been surprised before, so we will find out in a moment if that was it for the Danes. So let's see, what else? Who else did we kill? An emissary? Good job. And yeah, we're losing these provinces to Danish loyalists, but we'll see if the Danes still exist. The Byzantines are retreating from Nicaea. Interesting. I don't know. Where can they retreat to? They're trapped. I don't know what's going to happen there. And I did lose Sicily as well. Oh yeah, that's right. I did take Sicily. So it's just so that I could kill one of the other Danish family members. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. It's coming back to me now, right? Because I killed the one king, and then it turns out there's another king in Sicily, and I killed him, and then it turns out there's another one in Saxony. I get it. Yeah. I'm remembering now. Some Muslim bandits are here in Aquitaine. Okay. It's always interesting when you see this happening in provinces that are previously Catholic. But because I've had an imam here, or an alim, I can't remember if it's an alim or imam, but I've had a religious agent here for quite a while, right? So I'm assuming Aquitaine is probably majority Muslim, and that's why we're getting Muslim bandits here. And then, yeah, bandits in Brittany. These are Catholic bandits, okay. And succession. So the King of Poland has been captured and executed, but he doesn't have an heir. Huh. And yeah, that is it for the Danes. They're done for. I killed them. Gunsmith's Guild is completed here in Portugal, and then, what is this? So, well-traveled judge. The renowned judge, Ibn Battuta, has returned from another of his journeys to the Indies and Cathay. The tales he writes of his voyages to these far countries are remarkable, but even more remarkable are the beautiful trade goods that he brings also. Truly, travel broadens more than the mind, and now there are new goods for trade in Khazar and the Crimea. Doesn't really have anything to do with me, but okay. And then the Burgundians emerge. Okay, so this is sort of like the Swiss, where you just kind of get a another faction coming out of Central Europe here. That doesn't look like much. It's just a teeny tiny little army with a 3-star general attacking Burgundy. Huh. That's kind of too bad. And then, yeah, let's see. So that's it for the fleets. Thank fucking Christ. Okay, so I don't have to worry about any of that. Still losing, 8,000 per turn. But that's, hey, whatever. I can now just get my boats. I can spread them out. And cover all these sea regions. Get my trade back in order. Everything should be Gucci. Now I am receiving ports that I have disloyal generals, and boy oh boy, I mean, isn't this the time for it? Because I am just experiencing a civil war in my other campaign, so yeah, looks like I'll have to deal with a little bit of that here as well. And I did lose a Bagla here in the Africa coast, which is a shame because I feel like I only had one boat in that sea region to begin with, so that is unfortunate. And the Pope has died from an illness as well. Faction eliminated. Oh, was that? Oh, Burgundy. Burgundy only lasted not even a turn. Yeah, I didn't even get a chance. I forgot to look at them and look at their forces, and yeah, that's it for Burgundy. And same with the Byzantines. No, the Byzantines do have an heir to take over. Okay, so the Byzantines are still around. During the last turn, I did spend a lot of time reorganizing my armies to, well, so it looks like a mess, and I don't know if I like this. I had an idea. I've had an idea for a while on how to try to streamline my campaign map organization for my armies, because typically, what I do is I will simply just hit merge to merge all the armies together, and that gets auto-merged, of course, by the AI. And you end up with kind of like what the AI thinks of a balanced army in all of your stacks. And the reason why I don't like that is because, as we saw in the last campaign, I jumped into a few battles where I thought that I would have the units that I wanted or needed, and I didn't have them available to me because I overlooked them in the grand scheme of things and the whole giant mess that is this, army organization process. And so what I was thinking was, well, just create separate stacks for every single different unit type that I plan on using. And that's not just for my initial attacking stack, but also any reinforcement stacks as well. And so what I like to do is basically try to use all of the units that are available to me, minus the ones that get outdated. For example, crossbows and Pavis crossbows and regular archers. I have the upgraded versions, right? Desert archers, arbalesters, and all that good stuff. So instead of just keeping around all of those old units that I will never use, I just get rid of them, of course. But then, like javelins, I feel like I'd always use, always. So I kept my javelins around, and I feel like overall the Almohads army roster doesn't get that super upgraded anyway, so there's just kind of a lot of units from the early campaign that are just going to be here forever. So I tried doing that, and I spent a lot of time doing this actually with my Aragon armies, my Navarre armies, which couldn't even fit here, so I had to put some of them over here in Leon. All of these armies here in Castile just need to be refit, so these are kind of those armies just being retrained and all that. Actually, you can go over here. But yeah, I don't know. This is it really does create a lot of separate armies, right? Which doesn't really make things easier per se, because you still have to kind of go through everything and see what you have. But I don't know, it's tough on like the smaller provinces, right? Like in Navarre, it feels impossible because I had to put a few of them over here in Leon, you know. In Cyrenacia, it feels a little bit easier. It's a huge province. But however, though, the issue is that, as I just saw during that end turn phase, I have some disloyal generals. And, well, a general basically is just like a unit captain, right? When you have all of these separate one unit generals, essentially, well, they all count as their own general. Like this guy right here. I have 2 mortars, and it just so happens to be led by a guy with 0 loyalty. Whereas the other mortar crew has a tons of loyalty. So why isn't it him? I don't know. Because this guy actually has some traits, I suppose. And so that's an example of that. And what I don't know is if that means... Does that mean that there's a threat of a civil war? Because that message did not indicate anything about there being a civil war leader, or my Khalifa's influence is too low, which, you know, looks like it's 5 influence. Looks like it should be okay. So I'm a little bit confused by that. For instance, for these disloyal generals, like this is another one, right? It's a 2-star general, but one loyalty. So what would happen here? Would I just have a bunch of like individual stacks rebelling against, you know, all of my other stacks, or what? You know, do I? Yeah, this is another one. This really sucks because I have all my arquebusiers here, and it just happens to be led by a captain with 0 loyalty. It couldn't be any of the other guys. 5 loyalty. You know, well, Jesus, there's actually a bunch of guys in here with 0 loyalty. But there's a couple that do have, you know, good loyalty, right? Like 6 here, 5 here, and then like 5 here, you know? So it's really unfortunate. And I suppose that overall, that means that this organizational style is not going to work. I suppose what that means is I need to let the AI auto-merge my armies, and that will essentially place the, you know, typically, like, you know, it seems like when I do that, the armies are usually being led by someone who's at least somewhat competent, you know. It's not always the case, but it doesn't seem like, you know, like when the AI auto merges the armies, like he's not trying to screw you over. Like he's not just trying to fuck you. So it seems like for the most part, when I've played these campaigns, I'm not getting those disloyal general messages unless there is an actual threat of a civil war, which I don't think is the case here. I think this is just a separate thing, I suppose. I think at all. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah, it's tough. It's not necessarily prettier, and if it could cause a civil war, then I don't want to do this. So yeah, that is unfortunate because I was hoping to find a way to make sure that I don't forget units ever again. You know, it's kind of tough looking through all of the merged armies and just kind of like, you know, kind of pick them apart basically, and, you know, seeing what's there. It can be tough to do. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a really easy way to do it. I suppose that's just a part of this game that might just always feel like work, which is too bad. That really is too bad. I was hoping I could try to find a more streamlined way here of organizing these things, but perhaps that's not the case. The good news is I was able to get ships in every single one of my sea regions in just one turn, except for the, of course, my African coast boat just sank. So let's get another. Let's get 2 boats over there. Why not? But how's my income doing now? Now I'm just at negative 2,000, which the fact that I'm still in the negative is kind of concerning. I'm not missing something, am I? No, I am not. So, what that tells me is that it's just a matter of my troops, I suppose. Yeah, and I actually just dipped being underneath 99,000 for the first time. Oh, I mean, I just dipped underneath 100,000 in my treasury for the first time. Which is not a comforting feeling. No, I don't want to be underneath 100,000. What I could do, I mean, there's a bunch of extra troops I could. Like, you can see here, this is one of the reasons why I liked doing this, is because you can kind of see the redundancies, and you see, like, you know, how many guys you have and how many guys I can get rid of. So either I can bring these Moahid foot soldiers and these arquebusiers to other regions that have less of these troops. For example, like up here, I have tons of my javelin men. Yeah, here they are, like basically a full stack. And same thing with Aragon or Navarre as well. Yeah, another, like basically 2 full stacks of javelins up here in my northern borders. That's way too many javelins. Down here, I don't have as many. I have maybe, where is it? Just like a handful, I think. It's just the one. Yeah, I just have 1 javelin unit down here in Sarnasia. And that's why I like this. I do like it for this reason, is because it helps me see that. And now what I can do is I can transfer a bunch of javelins over to Sarnasia. I can transfer a bunch of Moahid foot soldiers over to my northern borders, because I know I don't have as many up there. That's one of the units that I ran out of, was my Moahid foot soldiers. And I don't want to run out of those soldiers. So yeah, it's a tough choice. It really does have some advantages in making me kind of see my armies and see, you know, what do I need and what's available, and perhaps take some of the mistakes out of it. So maybe what I do is just give it a try for now. See how this rolls out and see what happens. If there's like a rebellion, then I'm going to be curious to see like what kind of rebellion it's going to be. And as I've said over and over again during this campaign, this is a learning experience. And so if it you know, not all the experiences are going to be positive, right? A lot of these experiences are going to be me making mistakes and being like, oh, okay, so that's how that is. So if this is going to be a different type of rebellion other than a civil war, then I'm curious. I'm curious to see what happens here. So, I mean, I suppose, I don't know, like, another option, I don't know if I like this option, but like, stripping the governorships from basically all of my governors and then giving them to my disloyal captains just because they usually give off loyalty bonuses for the governorship titles. I don't like that option though. It kind of makes me nervous. Here's another event, the Diwan. The Diwan of Shams al-Adin Muhammad, also called Hafiz Shirazi, is one of the greatest poetry works of the age. A collection of ghazal or poems in lyrical style, Hafiz is a title given to a Muslim who has memorized the Quran, and his education clearly shines through his work. Many who have not already done so convert to Islam in Islamic provinces, while Islamic zeal is reduced. Huh, interesting. So, in any province that already is predominantly Muslim, then the amount of Muslims just goes up? And I've wondered about this before too, where, you know, it will say, you know, Muslim provinces. And is that just like the provinces that were Muslim at the beginning of the campaign, or any province that has since then turned Muslim since the campaign has started? I would assume the latter. But then Islamic zeal's reduced. That's an interesting little combination there. Okay. Should be easier for me to control my provinces, I suppose. And then the Poles want an alliance. I'm sorry, guys, but the only thing stopping me from attacking you in the last turn was pure organizational reasons. So, yeah, it's going to be happening like right now, I think. So everything I was just talking about before about my organizational strategies earlier, I just said screw it because that was just a mess. That was a nightmare. I had to try it out though. I had to see how that worked out, and the answer is it doesn't. Man, that was a rough. Yeah, I've spent basically 2 hours just like trying to figure out different organizational strategies for this. All right, well, I'm gonna leave 3 stacks of merged AI merged armies here in these regions. And how do I see? I still end up with like units like this Arbluster that has 20 men in it. Like after all that, I spent so much time. God. Let's get you retrained here. Oh, do I have to? Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how you can spend so much time and you still like look through your armies and you're like, what? How are my guys not all retrained? But yes, I'm just gonna go in the sloppy method, which is letting the AI merge my armies, and hopefully I have enough siege weapons and a good enough unit balance to get this make this work. I think I have enough armies here to put 3 armies in each of the 3 regions that I will be attacking: Moldavia, Kiev, and Pomerania. Yeah. And let's get it done, even though like my whole timing for this episode is kind of screwed up because I've spent pretty much the entire, like my typical 2-hour recording period, I've just been silent, not really talking. I've just been kind of doing this organizational stuff, and I want to make this an actual episode. So let's get a battle in, or, get an invasion in at least. So I have a few decent generals here, right? And like Amir Ibn Yusuf, he's okay, he's only 2 stars, but I think he has some good stuff here. Natural leader, yeah, +2 morale. +2 morale is a good one, yeah. And that's about it. But he's a good governor. But how is he the? Oh no, it's him. Yeah, Amir Ibn Musin, 4-star general. He's the actual general of this. It's too bad because he's in a unit of militia sergeants. But yeah, gentle knight's a good one. +3 morale. Yep. So that's a good one for him. What else do we got? Another 4-star general here. Abu Malik Ibn Bakr. Great warrior. And yeah, most honest gives him +1 morale. Yeah, that's a good one as well. Abdullah Ibn Yusuf. 4-star general. Nothing else pertinent to being a general. 6-star general. Yeah, this is a good one here. Amir Ibn Mamun. Natural leader, yeah, that's good shit. +2 morale, and then another +1 morale for most honest. He's a blackmailer, which gives -3 loyalty, but his loyalty is already, good enough. So he's looking like my best general. So I will send him to Kiev. Yeah, good stuff. Let's before I forget that, let's send him over right now to Kiev. I want to start that. Ooh, I didn't move my boats over. Can I win these wars with the Polish? Yeah, I can totally. They just have like 1 boat in each. Yep, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. And yes, we are going to wage war. Sorry, Poles. I know you're not having a good time, but I'm about to make it worse. And let's get rid of these boats too. They have a bark here, and then a caravel here. But I have a good fleet, a good little mini fleet there. Yeah, that should take care of their fleets nice and fast. And then let's get a couple more invasions in here. Like, I'm thinking at least 3 stacks per province. So, who do I want to send? What are the other 2 provinces? Moldavia and Pomerania, right? So, one of these generals is going to be kind of on an island by himself. Who do I want that to be? Not the 2-star, probably not him. So, I have a couple of 4-star options here. Either Abdullah Ibn Yusuf with nothing else, or Abu Malik Ibn Bakr. And he does have the +1 morale for most honest. So yeah, let's have you. Yeah, you can go over and you can be my guy over in oh yeah, I can't attack right yet. I need to kill these fleets first before I can attack Pomerania. That's okay. I can still go through with my attack here. The invasion is now all set, so let's see if the Poles will actually stand and fight me here. Or else, I mean, the only place they would fight me is in Kiev. So we'll see if that holds true, because I don't see them really putting up much of a fight elsewhere. But I do need to get rid of them. because, yeah, their points are... The amount of points they have is scary, kind of scary close to mine. Yeah, it's shocking that this nation, this nation here is the second place in Glorious Achievements points. But that's how it goes, so let's drop a save. And let's end this turn and see how this invasion goes. Man, yeah, so they did not even want to fight me in Kiev. Okay, well that's unfortunate. So yeah, they are under siege in Moldavia and Kiev, and I did sink the boat in Skagerrak. And what? What? I lost 3 boats in the Baltic Sea. Fucking hell. That's a bark. That's a bark. Their tier 1 boat just like sunk some booms and shit. What the fuck? Famine in Leon, income halved in Leon. Okay, yeah. Treaty canceled. It looks like the Hungary has broken their treaty with me. That's fine. And then same with the Italians, and the Egyptians chose the Polish over me. Oh, interesting. Going against the party lines. Wow. Yeah. What the hell? What in the heckin' hell? All right, let's bring over. So, like, what do I have here? I have a 3-star admiral. I need to see like how many stars does this admiral have? Because I'm really curious now. How the hell did I just lose that? That's insane. I just lost three boats to a bark. That's insane. God. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, so I can't invade in Pomerania, but that's fine. I have some spies on the way to help me get into these castles, but this is only going to take 2 turns for this to fall, and then this is going to take 4 turns. Yeah. Yeah, 4 turns. Let's see. I do have some spies on the way. In fact, let's see. Can I get one of these guys over right now? Yeah, maybe he can help me get into this castle. So they did retreat to Valhenia. And how many family members do they have? King. There's no one in there. There's no one in there. And anyone else? Is it just the king? He's 28. Okay, so here's another heir, 24-year-old. So this is the brother. 0 loyalty. Okay, so he's gonna go. He's gonna rebel at some point. He's another heir. More loyalty on him. 19 years old. Okay, so there's a couple. There's a couple brothers, I'd presume. You know, it's funny. It's calling me the richest, probably based on my treasury, which has 89,000. But it says I have a large annual income, and I don't. I'm like negative a couple thousand, I believe. The Sicilian king has died from an illness, but his heir has taken over. And yeah, this is going to be another 4 turns before this castle falls here in Moldavia. And then 1 turn before the castle to fall here in Kiev. So, what are the chances that one of these spies can get into this castle for me? 14% chance of castle infiltration. Okay. So let's try that. And it's my understanding. So how many stars? So this is a 1-star spy, and this is a 0 valor spy. It is my understanding that the chances of opening the castle gate do increase the longer the siege goes on. So I will let my 1-star spy go first and see if he can get in, and then after that I will try my 0 valor spy to see if he has a can get in next turn, because you know even saving like a turn is worth it, you know. Let's go back up here and check on this boat, which moved. Oh no, this deadly freaking, it's just a 2-star, it's a 2-star bark. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, it's, you know, 2 stars is, it's not nothing, but what the fuck? A 2-star bark beat like, okay, so I have a 2-star boom and a 1-star boom. Like, you know, these gotta, come on, you gotta win. Has to win. And what happens if he escapes to here? A 3-star boom. And then 1 star. Okay. Jesus, that was insane. How did he do that? That was insane. In fact, he probably wasn't even 2 stars. He probably earned one of those stars by killing 3 boats. He was probably a 1-star bark when he won that battle. Jesus, man, that's insane. That's just ridiculous. Ah, bummer. Siege break attempt. My agent was discovered whilst attempting to gain entry to the castle. This siege will have to continue. ... Well, I will try again. I have another spy in that area. I know I do. The Egyptian Sultan has died from an illness, but he has an heir to take over. And yeah, 3 more turns before this siege of Moldavia falls. However, Kiev has fallen to me. Yeah, I pillaged almost 3,000 florins. Good stuff. Rookery's finished here in Cordoba. I believe that's my upgraded spy building. I always get the spy buildings and the assassin buildings mixed up. Bowdy, yeah, okay, so a Rookery is the assassin building. So now I can get Valor 3 assassins. Nice, good shit. And then the Bowdy House is the spy one for the +2 Valor spies. Okay. And that's it, right? Yeah. So I can't get +3 Valor spies. I can just get +2 Valor spies. Alright. That is fine. That is fine. Although those +2 Valor spies can probably help me out with these castles. So yeah, let's give you a try. So yeah, 34% chance. Even though he's a Valor 0 spy, the percentages went up that much higher. Just because we've been waiting here for a couple of years. Okay, that's interesting. That's good to know. Good to know. So what do we have here in Kiev? Can we even train anything? Oh, we can train some stuff. Some Slav javelin men. I really love how this game has regional training. You can basically train these auxiliary troops into your forces as you're conquering the world, which is super cool. It really is. Like Slav javelin men, you know, pretty basic javelin men as far as they are concerned. But then you can also get steppe cavalry, which is like just a light cav, you know. And some factions might not be able to have access to like decent light cav or, you know, javelins. So being able to just kind of go somewhere and be like, oh sweet, we can get some javelins here. It's kind of cool. The Almohads do have good light cav and good javelins, so neither of these units really pique my interest, but it's one of those things in this game that I really like. Well, we do have Kiev. Let's make some money off of it, I suppose. Making 283. Yeah, we're still losing money. Goddamn. Okay. Yeah, let's see. This is where it gets like precarious. Like, how far do I want to reach? You know? Because you can probably run away to Poland, and if I get too overextended here, I don't want the Mongols to attack me. They're not super strong though, are they? Although I am bordering the Egyptians as well. Man, they're not strong either. It's a lot of numbers, but it's just a lot of ranged units, archers and handgunners mainly. So like, even if they wanted to attack me, if I just left 2 stacks here in Kiev to guard, while I sent 2 stacks to go fight in Volhynia, that might be the play. And it would be nice though to get this going here. Yeah, let's kill this boat. You move back to the Baltic Sea. What do I have? 3-star general or admiral? Yeah. Yeah, let's kill this dude. It'd be really nice to get Pomerania just so that we can make sure that we close in on the Polish. Because if they retreat to Poland, for example, then it'd be less stressful to push out in this direction because the forces surrounding this area aren't as powerful. Like the Mongols in Prussia are very, very beat up, and then we have some rebels and stuff which aren't going to be very aggressive. Whereas on this side is a little bit more precarious, isn't it? You know, there's Egyptians, there's Mongols, there's Hungarians as well, and the Hungarians have broken their alliance with me. So it's all the Egyptians for that matter. Jesus, yeah. So this side is a little bit more like, maybe let's like hang out for a little bit and kind of see how we're going here. Let's just kind of give this guy, what are we making? 283. May as well bump up the taxes while we're here because We have tons of soldiers to keep the population loyalty high. And give it to him. Bump it up by a little bit more. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And I don't want to train any soldiers. No, that's fine. Let's just kind of hang out and wait till we get Moldavia fully under our control. And hopefully in the meantime, we can also get Pomerania as well. And that can kind of dictate our next moves. Because, yeah, this is looking a little bit dicey. I don't think the Mongols are at war with anyone. They are not. And what about the Egyptians? Yeah, they're also not. So yeah, it's, I mean, Egypt, you would think that they would want to branch out at some point, but they might. Yeah, the Hungarians have kind of, these reemergence factions over here, like the Hungarians and the Egyptians have kind of, they're looking pretty comfortable, you know? And I feel like the Egyptians should really bring a lot of these central armies to their frontier territories, because they just have a lot of armies here, you know, in these frontier areas, which don't need to be here, you know? They could be out in Constantinople or Khazar or Egypt, threatening, you know, other places. So they could go to war with someone, and by someone I mean me. So let's play it a little bit more conservative on this angle here, and wait till we get the rest of our armies pinching in from the north. Oh, bummer. So my other agent was also discovered while trying to break into the castle. Well, gosh darn. I thought I had another spy on the way, but I don't know if he's reached that province yet. Let's see, the Swiss are retreating from the Germans. And we finally were able to beat that goddamn devil boat over here, so we can invade Pomerania. Let's see, technological excellence has been achieved. Okie dokie. And yeah, one more turn before that siege falls. So we may as well just kind of wait it out at this point. There's no point in sacrificing any more agents. Looks like the Hungarians are sending assassins at my generals here, which is interesting. Oh yeah, because I have a spy here. Oh, wow, I got kind of lucky. Yeah. Master Gunsmith is completed here in Valencia. I believe that gives me +1 valor for my handgunners and arquebusiers. Master Spearmaker, I believe that's also going to give +1 valor to my Mujahid foot soldiers and my Nubian spearmen. Let's see, -4 piety, okay, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Let's kind of just merge these guys, merge down here, and then I'm pretty sure I can get this invasion underway. Yeah, this is gonna fall this turn, so let's bring over these 3 stacks coming into Pomerania. You, and then you, and I may as well I can bring in probably, like, you know, I was gonna say 1 stack from Cyrenacia, but I can probably bring a couple. Yeah, I have just a ton down here. Yeah, what do I want to bring? See, that's the thing, like, I like to kind of know what I'm bringing, but when the AI merges these armies for you, you just kind of like look at them and you're like, yeah, that looks good. You know, like, I don't know. I prefer having more control for sure. You know, I really do. But, yeah, I don't know, until I figure out a better way. This is gonna have to do, I suppose. 4 stacks in Pomerania, that should be fine to secure this region. I don't think I should be getting any more threats from anyone else. In addition to that, that will allow me to push on into Poland if the Poles retreat there from Volhynia, because, yeah, I think what I can do is I can leave essentially 2 stacks apiece in Moldavia and Kiev, while sending 2 stacks apiece into Volhynia to attack there, and then also, like, preemptively I could send 2 stacks into Poland as well. Yeah, why not? As expected, the Polish are retreating from Pomerania. And yeah, I got only 100 florins, so not a whole lot going on there. Let's see, the Germans are retreating from Franconia, okay. Swiss leader has died, but there is another. And yes, Moldavia has finally fallen to me, and I've pillaged almost 5,000 florins. That's pretty good. That helps out. And heir matures. Prince Idris is now come of age, and I'm curious to see. I think he's another brother, but we will see. He might be a son. I'll check on that. Oh, unfortunately, he's a chinless wonder. That's too bad. So -1 acumen and -1 command. But he's got that killer instinct. So he has a talent for killing, making him quite effective on the battlefield and discomfiting those who stand against him. +2 Valor and then +1 Dread. So a good fighter, and he can keep people in line if he ever becomes king. And there we go. So I did get 12 points, and that is just off of the homeland itself. That's not including conquest, so that's not bad. Yeah, so 12 points and then another 2 off of conquest. Yeah, that's okay. And, you know, as you can see, like, I'm doing pretty well, right? I'm pretty comfortable, you know, 40 points ahead of the Polish. But yeah, 7, 8, 9, yeah, they're making 9 points. So I would like to play one more turn just to kind of see what the conditions are going to be going forward. Because the next counting period is going to be the year 1400s. Yeah, so another 25 turns. And yeah, I'd like to know what kind of points I will be making for that time period, you know, because that's going to be very important coming up here. How long before this castle falls in Pomerania? Ooh, fucking hell. That's going to be nine turns. Okay, so I need to assault that. Ugh. Oh, dear. Oh, man. Anyone who's watched this channel knows that, that's not good. Let's see. So I can get 2-star spies. Oh, 0% chance of getting into the castle. Goddamn. I mean, it will be... The chances will go up, as we've seen, you know, so I can bring him over here. In the next turn, it will be higher, but honestly, that should probably just be a fight that I go in there and fight. I mean, there's really not much, right? It's just literally just a one-man guy here in his unit of Royal Knights, and then 37 mounted crossbows, which can definitely do a lot of damage. Also, the castle itself, it's just... So yeah, it's the tier 3 castle, but there's no defensive upgrades. But still, a tier 3 castle's, you know, pretty decent, right? So yeah, that's gonna take a beating. What artillery did I happen upon? So let's see. Yeah. Siege cannon's good. That's the big kahuna. And then I have a couple of demi cannons, which I believe just based on I can't remember if it was this campaign or the other campaign, but when I went up against a citadel, the tier 4 castle with demi cannons, and they just weren't quite doing the trick. I could get into the walls, but I couldn't really destroy anything else. I couldn't, you know, destroy the inner wall. I didn't have ammunition. But I believe the demi cannons are just fine for the tier 3 castle. I think that they're just fine. So having a siege cannon, and then how many demi cannons do I have? 1, 2, 3. 3 demi cannons, a catapult, and a mortar. So what I can do is, and I still haven't tested this yet, but I believe that, I'm guessing that the way that you get reinforcements to work for siege battles is to just compose both of your stacks and then to drop, you know, all of your stacks onto the castle. And in this case, what I would be doing is just bringing all of my artillery, bombing the hell out of that castle, getting in, killing the people inside, using my artillery, you know, patiently, right? You know, destroying the towers, getting as many kills on the actual defenders as I can before I actually storm the castle, and getting it in that way. I have to get better eventually, you know, it's going to happen. And considering that this is going to take 1,000,000 years before this castle falls, I think this is going to be an appropriate time for me to do so. But that is all going to have to wait until the next episode. Yeah, I know this has been a slow one, but for me this has been a long one because I was trying to really trying to figure some stuff out, and it ended up not working. But you know what? This is, as I keep saying, this is how I learn these things. So thank you for your patience, and I hope that in some ways you have enjoyed this. So I've been Concept, and this has been Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.